Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Rocky Mountain Mixed Doubles Championship. We're live here in beautiful Banff, Alberta. It is just before 9 o'clock. The teams have done their practice, their LSD, and we're almost set to go here in the game. We can tell you that we've got a special guest who will be commentating, but more on that in a moment. Our feature match is Barber, Heidt versus Cinamon and Dyck. Today's moving day. These are our 5 pools. You can see that they fall in Pool D, the Three Sisters. Both teams needing to win out here to have a chance to make the playoffs. We also have other games going on around the rink here this morning, and we'll certainly give you updates as we go on. And what are they playing for? Well, they're playing for a prize purse of $30,000 unofficially. That is the largest prize purse of any mixed doubles championship. Very pleased of that. Helps the athletes afford to be here and curl. First place gets $8,000 and second place $6,000, and you can see the rest. So all you got to do is be top 12 and you're guaranteed a check. Now I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Gord Copthorne. He is a member of the Calgary Curling Club. More importantly, he is the Vice President of Curling Alberta. And even more importantly, he's joined us here for today and tomorrow to help provide some commentary. One of his sons plays very competitively in mixed doubles and has represented Alberta at the Nationals in mixed curling. And Gord's also been a coach and he's been an athlete. And so you're in for a treat with all the wonderful knowledge. He's also familiar with one of these teams, having been around the athletes over the last few years in the Cochrane area. So Gord, take it away.
It's a pleasure to be out here. Good morning, Steve. Yes, I've been in mixed doubles for about 10 years. I actually think I was Zoe's first mixed doubles coach the better part of 8 years ago. So it's kind of fun to come out again. So thanks for the invite. Yes, so this morning we have Heidt and Barber out of Saskatchewan playing Cinamon Dyck, reigning out of the Edmonton area, playing for the U of A program. Do we have sound from them? Four thrown rocks, and it looks like things are curling quite nicely. They themselves are talking about needing more ice, so early compliments as usual.
Yeah, they have, so far we've seen about 4.5 to 5 feet curl, and we see about 14.5 to 14.7 for the speed. So that's been pretty consistent all weekend so far.
If you were to ask a curler, they would call that pretty much ideal conditions. Okay. So where are the teams at in the standings this morning?
Gord, that's a great question. Just give me a moment.
I saw Zoe and Gabe were around 2-1. So is that in the running, I believe?
It's going to take 3 and 2 to make the playoffs, and not all 3 and 2 will make the playoffs. It's just going to depend on the pool. But I'll get you a breakdown, Gord, and in a moment I'll let you know how this pool sits.
Out! Wait, Cole!
Leave it, Brett. Leave it.
Well, that's sitting not bad so far. They're fighting the weights a little bit.
Set it quite a bit.
2.
I don't think we're ever getting 2 though if we do this.
What do you like? I think if you could stick those.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice little point about mixed doubles here. Moving rocks, not hitting rocks, is usually the safer way to navigate situations. So blue is sitting 1, almost 2.
He's gonna give you like back 4, back 8.
No good hits as usual, so just move them around and make backing.
That's a big set.
Now.
That's a huge set. No.
Yeah.
So what he means by that is he put it wide of the target, so highly unlikely he's going to get to the nose of the rock like is expected. So one of the biggest things we coach people when we're teaching mixed doubles is that keeping your shooter in play and in a controlled spot is typically the primary outcome of any shot. Hence why big hits are quite often difficult to navigate mixed doubles with, because your shooter is so hard to control. So that's where freezes and taps are a little bit easier.
Close to the same.
Okay.
Little
mine's
tighter.
I think we're a hair less.
Okay, you can curl it.
T-line.
Yep.
T-line.
Yes. Hard, right to the forefoot, hard. Good shot.
We're there.
Okay. Play tap this. Sit here.
So in mixed doubles, angles is
And they
always the
just hit
most
and roll and sit back there and
critical
make it
piece.
better.
One thing to be mindful of is don't group your rocks without
We can't
a lot
hit
of rocks
this.
in play. But if there's a lot of rocks in play, then group them as much as you can.
I mean, it's just gonna squirt under more, and you're.
Whoa. Oh no, I'm thinking just blast it.
If you can hit, it should put for this. This will
Oh,
sit
yeah.
second.
I think that's our probably best.
Okay. Here.
Yeah.
So they're basically going to hit us probably about 3/4, 7/8 full hit weight. Lose 2 blues, keep 1 yellow for sure. This is what I was just saying. Grouping rocks when there aren't rocks in play, a lot of rocks in play can come back to bite you.
Good shot.
Well, that accomplished what he was after, which was less blues in play.
Gord, I've got to say, it's not easy to throw that type of weight that accurate without
Really
sweepers.
good.
That's actually why you see most of them throw peel, is because it takes the sweeper completely out of it. Even if you did have a sweeper, the variation on it's going to be a 1/4 inch. So you either make it or you don't, but you don't need the sweeper. I have to say, I tell people you either throw it with peel or board, because board lets you control your shooter and most likely keep your rock where you want it, whereas peel, for removing a bunch of rocks, is just easier.
What's that?
It overcurled, so I need to go in the same path,
Okay. Yep.
right? It
Yeah,
overcurled to the side of the tee.
you're playing the out turn, right?
And that's what I played. And it overcurled to the side of the
So
forefoot.
you need more ice.
No, I was thinking the same weight and the same path, right?
Okay. Okay.
Or what do you think?
Yeah, you want to be. Yeah, it's draw to the button, whatever the draw to the button is.
Good team conversation there. Try to bite the button, make Zoe have a hard last shot.
Okay, we're really heavy.
Okay,
We're like through almost.
line's really nice.
Okay, we're got to be on their yellow.
Line's really nice. Yep.
got it.
Yes, hard. Really hard. Really hard, hard, hard.
Just the draw.
Adds a little
Something wrong
pressure
this
to
one.
Zoe's shot, but doesn't fundamentally change a lot. Actually ended up giving usable backing on the out turn. Probably wouldn't be shot if she came to the blue one, so cold draw.
Gord, you're asking about this pool. We have two teams at 3-0. That's Peterman Gallant and
wanna
Schmiemann
say my
Ginter.
first one
So
was a bit
setting up
closer
for
than how they
a
got, but
showdown
just a
later
little
on today. We've got Papley Van Amsterdam. They're sitting at 2-1. And then we've got Cinamon Dyck at 1-2. And then Barber, Heidt, and Dougal Drever are both at 0-3. So, as we said, a must-win here for Cinamon Dyck to have a chance to earn a playoff, possibly.
That was a good ad. That was a good ad.
Yeah.
Line's great.
Thanks for that update,
Hair
Steve.
tight. Hair tight.
This is going to be
Hard.
close to the guard.
Hard. Line's good. Get me on the top one. Got to tap off a hair.
One.
Sorry, Gabe.
Very close. Needed more ice. Beautiful weight. So 1 point goes on the board for blue. Welcome back in the home direction.
All right. As with every game, we're now going to bring you the land acknowledgement for this morning.
My name is Jennifer Satchku, and I'm with the Banff Curling Club. And with humility and deep respect, we acknowledge that we live and work within the present-day territories of Treaty 6, 7, and 8, as well as the Métis homeland. The lands and waters of Banff National Park have been used for millennia by Indigenous peoples for subsistence, ceremony, trade, and travel. We thank them for their continued stewardship and for their sharing of this land.
Thank you, Jennifer, a longtime member here in Banff. Now we'll bring you back to the game and the first shot of the end coming down by blue.
Okay, your split was a 72, so back 8.
It's really wide.
Back 8 or
Line's getting better. Line's
coming
getting
coming
good.
down.
Line's really good.
Shot.
So as a
Where
coach,
are
I
they?
would call that
Full 8.
Full 8. Okay.
in the don't throw it there zone.
Just throw the
There's
four.
a box underneath of the center guard,
You're like freezing
starting
too,
at about
looking
Yes.
around.
Freeze to it.
just short of the 4 foot to the back of the guard, where you actually end up just
closer
creating
enough for
two
it to
guards. So when I'm coaching people, I generally say do whatever you can not to put it partly under that blue guard unless you're at least half in the 4 foot, because now you have actually made your own rock to deal with. If
Line's
you
good.
let those ones die and be mostly
Close.
open, at least you
Wait,
can
more room than we've had
use
before.
them later. That one could very well haunt them later in the end.
Really close.
Well, now. Hair tight. Hard to keep the angle.
Well, they may have given it a little bit
I
back
don't know
to them
either
there.
one. Which one do you think's
Another
better?
fun fact of mixed doubles is the first rock is actually kind of backwards. The team
Sure.
trying to
it's fine.
steal is typically better off to be a little bit heavy, because at worst you split the back and make a wall that you can freeze to. And the team with hammer is typically better off to be a little bit short, because you're creating a guard on what's your rock at the back of the 4 foot. So had that one been a little bit more angled than we're giving Zoe through it, it would have been a phenomenal in-house guard pair.
Line's nice. Line's really good. Where is it?
Back 8.
Yes! Hard! Really hard. It's only T-line. Hard! I don't know.
Do you like the double? Can you
Made
get
a
there?
decent outcome from rock
I
that was
see
over a giga. Looks like,
Like
you're getting
this
closer to
much
6 feet,
of the.
which,
'Kay.
considering this is a morning draw on the ice is sat,
Pretty
it's
much
not
after
uncommon
crotch,
for
I
the
mean, if
first
you hit
ends to
3/4
curl
of
harder
this,
than
it's still getting pushed
expected.
pretty good. And you're sitting
Okay,
right
I can
there.
only probably do that with. I can maybe do that with easy.
Sure. Like here?
I think more.
Okay.
So this is what I was saying earlier. Peel or board? Easy, board, light control. They have more control over their shooter after contact.
That's a good shot. Nice
Very
shot.
nice shot. So they're
10-2.
only sitting one, but two very easy ways to get the only current blue one out.
And here's pretty good. And he hits that, and they like 4-1. That's not very good either. And he plays that, and they're line 4.
I don't mind where he's thinking with this. Those angles are very much not in their favor, so moving the rocks around could create a better
Yeah, run the
shot
center
down
or
the road
play
for
that.
them. A run back in this case would be interesting. You'd take out both yellows if you did it absolutely right. If you didn't do it absolutely right, you would put a very large nail in your own coffin, because then they have an easy chance to lay 4 spread out.
Line's nice.
Back 8!
Line's really good.
Back 8!
Okay, well then. Still have room. 13-2. It's a pick.
Picked.
That's not a bad outcome. 2 blues in the house.
Still
The
just play the
one's
3.
Yeah, it should
probably
go.
going to get past
Why?
the bottom one.
Do you like easy?
But the
or-
yellow shooters
think
will
you're
roll
right.
away, which will leave a path to
Got
freeze
it.
at the back one. At worst, the yellow stays in the middle, and you've got a nose double to cut them down to sitting 1.
Close. Room right now. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Curl. Curl. That's good.
So I would say that was a case where you could have got away with a less than normal-ish kind of weight, because your shooter would have stayed around in the outer 12-foot. Those can come back to be very helpful rocks later on. There's no need to hit that hard and roll out.
Or make that back double.
Okay.
Little thin, maybe you get all 3 if I get lucky. Or jam our, yeah. I think this is better. You think that's too much?
So they're looking to hit the outer third of that yellow and hit one of the other 2 yellows. If the lightning strikes right, you could move all 3 yellows around, but it's not the outright call. Move 2 yellow. Looks like you can probably see 2/3 of the rock.
Oh yeah.
So that would be an inside-out release, and judging by this ice, you throw peel, it goes
Get
where
to
you
nose
throw it.
tap,
So
yeah.
a little unfortunate
Yeah.
there.
Like here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like back 8, back 4.
Back 4.
I don't hate just a shade more than.
Yeah.
So yellow's basically going to throw as many rocks into play as they can, so that hopefully they can only make a double out of whatever's left. It's going to be really hard not to group your rocks together, so put them all in play.
Room right now.
There.
About a quarter rock split would almost be ideal. Roll your shooter as far over as you can. Reasonable weight. There was that set Gabe was talking about the last
Hit
end
that
as well.
3.
A bit of an in-out release on his
What do you?
mid-weight shots.
And Gord, we noticed yesterday on that side especially
Brett,
that
you want a Barber
the
sweep?
rock with a little extra weight just hangs a bit.
Late break.
Late break if you've got the right speed,
Yep.
but anything up and again, we're not exactly behind to watch all releases. You've been picking up on that good. Could be a little in-out release that just that causes it to go. So it is a bit weight sensitive over there, and we've seen that twice in a row now.
It's a bit of a tricky thing in modern ice is the curve path is almost like a football player's button hook. So it goes straight almost all the way to the hog line before it starts to decide to curl. So yeah, you throw it 8 feet heavy,
Forget
that
it.
break
It's
point
okay.
is later.
Good.
It changes everything.
Gone.
This is also in that same little track. So they took about 6 inches of ice, and if we assume the rock has no curl and she was an inch or two wide, then you miss the rock. So to your point, probably a little full on the ice and then nervously full on hitting your target. So Zoe is a shot for 4 here. Pick your favorite turn. So I'm not going to rehash too much here, but that blue rock
as my
that
first
came
one,
up
maybe a bit
short
more.
is what actually made all the play high in the 8 foot
Take
very
3/4
awkwardly,
again, just to make sure.
and it really came back to haunt them this end.
Anything?
Quite down.
Line's really good. Getting some movement now.
Good. 4.
Nice try. Steve, do you want to call out to any of the sponsors or score sheets, the other sheets?
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's say a big thank you to our sponsors. We've got Visions Electronics. Thank you very much for all your support. We really appreciate it, especially over the years. Bow Valley Credit Union, Distinctive Homes, Mary's Popcorn Shop, the Malcolm. It's a beautiful hotel in the Canmore area. Rocky Mountain Soap Company, Wildlife Distillery, Ridgewood, and GDS. Big thank you to all of them for all they do to help us be able to put on this wonderful event and attract such a great set of curlers here to play. Gord, I mean, they gave up a 4, but I think as we've seen in mixed doubles and as we look across the boards out there, it's easy enough to get that 4 back. And to your point, we have on sheet 1 a bit of a interesting start there. Peterman Gallant, the number 1 seeds in the pool, currently 3-0, gave up 3 in the first end. So Papley Van Amsterdam, who would dearly love to win this game, give them the upper edge on the win-loss in any tiebreakers, are currently up 3-0. When we look over on sheet 2, we've got Wojciechowski and Dumont, who are also at 3-0 in their pool. They gave up a 4-ender in the first end. Not sure what happened in the second. I know they took at least 1 or 2, but Liburn will have last rock. They played, of course, great. Lost a very close contest to Cotter last night right here on our stream. Of course, our game, it's 4-1 right now. Cinamon Dyck over Barber Heidt. And over on sheet 1, Schmiemann Ginter got a 6-ender in the first. So broke that game wide open. Dougal Drever, local Canmore club, though, have got a few rocks in play. If there's a way they can get the one off the button, they might be able to score 3 or 4 back on their last shot. So we'll keep an eye on that game, Gord. And now we'll take it back to the game that we're watching and Brett's first shot here of the third end.
Thanks for that update, Steve. Exciting as always. To your point, this is a game of patience. Don't get too worried being down early on.
Okay, we're heavy now, I think.
We see
62. I think
Zoe
we're back.
and Gabe
We're to the back.
unfortunately
Line's
put their
really
rock
good.
in
Okay, I don't
that
want to touch it.
not
Line's really good.
advisable
Hey.
box under the center
almost
guard. So
through.
we'll see if that causes them any
We're
grief
through.
this end or not. This one seems a little bit heavy. That's a very unfortunate miss.
Think I need the other turn, Zoe.
Another fun fact of mixed doubles. If you notably outplay your opponent on the first shot of the end, so let's say you shoot a 4 and they a 2 or you a 3 or 1, like notably outthrow them, it's about a 70% chance you'll score. So when yellow threw that guard up high, if they had actually got theirs into the 4 foot, they were in complete control of the end from the start.
Loving the fun facts, Gord. Keep them coming.
I've been watching this a little too long for any of our own good, so. But it's actually a neat little fact because they have their variation of the 5-rock rule in mixed doubles. If you make your first shot that much better than the opponent, it takes at least 2 good shots in return, which is just such an advantage because then they're just chasing the whole end. Everybody thinks that the last shot is the most important one because it defines who scores. But I do my best to encourage people to consider the first rock as the most important one because it sets the tone of the entire end. I sometimes ask people to go back in the annals and watch the Canadian final between Morris and our dear friend from Newfoundland, Gushu. So it was an Olympic match to go to the Olympics 2 rounds ago. Morris versus Gushu. And
Line's really nice.
in that game, Gushu and I think it was Val Sweeting chased the entire game because Caitlin Laws outperformed on the first shot every single
line, really hard. Nice shot.
Whoa.
Very good setup for blue going right here. A whole bunch of guards and 2 blues in a line behind it.
And we can update that Wojciechowski Dumont did get 2 in the second, so they're down 4-2, and Libran have the hammer.
I can probably run on my neck.
Started to curl.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So here's your classic chasing end. Cinamon and Dyck did not set up particularly well, and they're probably going to use the next 3 rocks as variations of hits and possible freezes to try to bail out of anything less than 2 or 3.
Good.
Really nice way to start getting out of trouble.
Gord, since you're throwing us all these fun facts, we see a lot of skip thirds playing, and we see a lot of front end playing, and there's different skill sets here. A lot of drawing, and a lot of hitting when you need to, heavyweight hitting, and a lot of sweeping. Is there any statistics you have around, any advantage by having any sort of mixture of player types from the 4 game coming together in the 2?
I think the best answer there is having 2 people that aren't exactly the same in what they want to do, but complement each other in kind of their overall plan. So there are teams out there that think they can hit their way through everything, and there's teams that think they can freeze their way out of everything. And as long as the 2 complement each other and fit in terms of sweeping and those sorts of things, it tends to work out quite well. I've seen all kinds of pairs of leads and skips or thirds and seconds, and it's more about similar mindset than traditional 4-person skill.
Spin over, curl. Has to stop.
What's that?
Has to stop.
Interestingly enough, I think the least successful setups I find is the same position. Skip and skip, or third and third, or second and second. Because they're a little too patterned in their thinking.
Yeah.
Just the shade. Very,
Even if I hit nose, I think I'm close.
Nose isn't bad at all. Like that.
So if I was blue in that case, I think I would have tried to do more of a corner freeze of the yellow one as opposed to a traditional guard. Because ice that's curling 6 feet is a difficult guard to throw perfectly. Whereas if you'd have thrown a freeze on the yellow one, you would have been in the house and you had a lot more variation on where you could have let it end.
And of course, when we talk about traditional 4s, I mean, you look at the teams nowadays.
Donate a
case
shade
in
more.
point, Gauthier joining Cooey's team. I mean, he's a skip and he's playing second. And look at Gallant. And so when you start looking at the traditional 4s, you almost have, as well as most successful team in recent history with Carrie Anderson, Val Sweeting, and that whole skip team. So
Yep.
it's more about, like you say, personalities and how they fit together
Hard.
than the role they play.
Whoa, whoa. Yep. It's really good.
Very nice shot. 2 excellent hits from Gabe. Yeah, as a coach, there's nothing more difficult than trying to navigate
What are you playing?
2 people setting a strategy from 2 fundamentally different perspectives. That just tends to create long time-wasting conversations.
Play that double, right?
So Val Sweeting and Carrie Einerson, for example, are very comparable in how they like to approach ends.
Hard. Hard.
Wait, that's unfortunate.
What?
It's my shot, right?
Yeah.
So, throw a second one in play to make them earn 1,
Okay. Yeah.
or throw up a guard and make them draw for 1. Take your pick. In this case here, I think I'd throw another one in the house somewhere so that a mistake is more expensive. Throwing on a guard on top
I'm
of
just
the
gonna
blue
take
one's
edge
already
slow.
not changing
Stay
much. If I
outside
hit
the
the blue
fourth
one, they're
row.
not in the house.
The out turn as well if you wanted.
Pardon?
You could throw the out turn as well.
The guard on the side is just really high. I think
Okay.
I'm going to run into it.
Our dear friend
Yeah.
Zoe has always
Where are you
been
taking, sorry?
a fan
Edge
of
12, so I'm
protecting
outside the foot
shot
lines. You'll
rocks.
probably
So
have
I'm
to
not
carve it in
surprised
at
with
the
this
end,
call.
but
That's fine.
that's okay.
Be patient on the calling the carve though.
Yeah.
It's tight.
Okay. Line's good.
Real tight.
Line's really good. It's got lots of room right now.
Yeah.
You can go now.
Put it in
Girl.
the house.
Okay, it'll be fine. It'll block the draw path. That's good.
Well,
What do you think?
didn't
Just
change
draw?
things a whole lot. They still have the hit or the
This on?
out-turn draw. Take
That's
their pick.
on.
This is where I was saying, if you'd just thrown that, say, biting the outside 8 foot,
What do you wanna
then they're
play?
drawing against 2
It's your
instead of just
shot.
1. But such is life.
She just
It
threw.
does speak to the point of what we were just saying, though.
Oh.
Zoe and Gabe were very much on the same page that their guard was their preferred shot, which makes them play quickly
Sorry.
and effectively. Let's say one of them won on the guard and one of
Think
them
it's
won
your
on the draw.
shot.
Well,
Hey.
then you're into a kind of drawn-out conversation, wasting time.
What do you want to play?
That's what I like to see as a coach.
I'll just do the intern draw.
So, given that Brett's kind of struggled with her draws here, I'm half expecting them to play the short run back.
You like the intern? The out turn.
Yeah, whatever turn you're seeing, whatever one you wanted. You threw the out turn on your first one this end. It was a little heavy, or you can play whatever you're seeing.
So imagine if that yellow one was half in the 12 foot. This run back is all the more critical because you really have to stick it. Fun fact, mixed doubles, if she hits and rolls out, the hammer switches teams on
Take a
blank deck.
70s close on either side.
Oh, looks like she's switching to the draw.
Okay, we're through.
Okay.
We're hack. Hack 12.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter then.
One.
Well, let's get to know the team a little bit. So, Barber, Height, what do we know about them? Well, they live on a family farm outside of Carobert, Saskatchewan, and they live there with their puppy Xander. Their home club is the Carobert Curling Club. Now, when we asked them how many years they've been curling, the answer was approximately 60 combine years. What's 60 combine years? It's actually 20 years. So I'm not sure the math there, Gord, but we can try to figure that one out before the end of the game. But I love it. I love being given it in 60 combines. They've been playing together on and off, both mixed curling and mixed doubles for 20 years. So obviously a lot of experience with each other and how they play. Mitch is a grain farmer, and Brett owns a fitness facility, is a personal trainer, and has her master's in sports nutrition, and also a flower and gift shop, which includes a smoothie bar. I'm going to go visit because that ticks a lot of boxes off for me.
I was going to say, you can get a bouquet of flour and a lunch all in one stop.
That's right. Last night we had a heifer farmer in Alberta, and now we've got a grain farmer. I love it. This is great. And if you look at the ads on Curling Canada and you look at the history of our sport, it comes from farmers. So just great to see. And they're such a nice couple. I had a chance to chat with them a few times, and just wonderful people. So it's great to have them here at our event. And let's continue watching and seeing what they can do here in the fourth end.
I feel like I've said this too many times. That's again in the don't put it there box.
Okay, looking for a 70.
If Gabe recognizes that's light and leaves it mostly open, say on the end of the via visions, you don't create a double guard and you give yourself a rock to throw in, you cut off a draw on that side. Still not ideal,
close.
but not in the
Key
don't
line.
put it there box.
Lots of line.
Anyways,
Okay, we're
so
coming
far they've been
down.
getting away with it.
Sweep if you
Gabe's
want
played
to.
couple of
Make
nice
a curl.
runs,
Quite a-
so we'll see if it keeps going. Brett seems to have better weight on this one. A little wide on the line, but hey, it's a rock in play, which is, at this point in the game, what you're really after.
Shot.
You need a 2 or a 3 this end, so. Those pesky rocks in the upper 8 foot tend to come back as unique options on the last rock. A run back, an in off, all kinds of strange things. So not a bad rock.
Line's good. Got room right now.
Close.
Okay, hair wider than mine.
G.
Okay. Line's really good. Line's really good. Hard, Gabe, you got it. Okay, leave it right there for a run. That's fine.
Though I picked up on that there, leave it where you can actually use it instead of continuing to suck it in. Finishing the point, if the first one was on the via visions and they had thrown that as the out turn, as the S or N on the other side, now yellow's in the way of both draw paths, and that one blue one's looking really, really lonely. It is such a game of chess, missed doubles.
Try and play like tight with just through. And if I chisel off this and open that up and guard this one, if not, I try and get to this one.
Okay.
Push it back there and sit here.
Okay.
Do you like that?
Yep. Where do you want the ice?
So had that yellow one been swept 3 inches farther and a half an inch more tucked under, I would see blue throwing the out turn freeze to their own, no questions asked, because there's no way to get a yellow into the middle. But I can see why they would like to move that yellow one a little bit. It's a danger rock.
Little less. Little less. Think less yet. Yeah.
So this actually speaks to Steve's point earlier. They're actually planning to move rocks around. So this is going to be a deep house draw. So the visual line is a lot less perceived curl because the break point is deep. So it still hasn't actually hit that break point yet because
Yeah,
he's thrown
too much ice.
at least hack at this.
This is no good.
There's the break.
Why?
I don't actually think that's all that bad.
Works.
I don't think he expected it to come that far. It really came at the end.
Yeah, so it didn't break till after
think
the
Chase
hog
it.
line, and he was hoping to hit it a little bit thicker, a little bit higher to leave his blue in the draw path.
You like ever a hair left?
Which, imagine that blue is in the dead middle of that hole. That is a wonderful position. That stagger did not help them a lot. But I don't know as he meant to throw hack.
Close, yeah.
So they're going to try to weld this one onto that back blue one.
Line's good. Got some room right now. Well,
Back 12.
okay, it's close. Curl, curl,
What?
curl, curl. Hard. Hard to it.
Nice line call. Little bit more weight than they were probably after.
I couldn't hear you.
I would say yellow is shot and blue is second in the upper right corner of the house. Then the other two yellows. I don't think I agree with him here on this case.
I rip this, then he just rips that double, and we're in big trouble again, hey?
The ice is straight enough that you could hit that yellow one and flop under a little bit. Then yellow will be playing against 2. Taking a 2 is fine. You're only down 2. And other thing I advise people a lot in mixed doubles is don't fear needing to steal. In 4-man, the odds of stealing in 2 comparable teams is in the ballpark of 20%. In mixed doubles, the odds of stealing, especially earlier ends, is like 45% chance. So don't be afraid to steal. So being down 1 or 2, roll with it. Don't chase big scores because you think you need to be tied. I prefer this shot. Try to get through that hole, hit that back yellow one, roll underneath. If you happen to hit the yellow, clip the yellow at the front, it's not going to hurt you much.
Close. Yep. Yes. Hard. Hard. Off.
Ooh, not off, not off. Excellent shot. Now yellow is looking at a steep angle, which is going to roll their shooter
Just
out.
fire this. If I hit it thin,
Or you
Oh,
could run
this is-
something back, which is not ideal.
It's never jamming, right? Because this has to stay here.
yeah, no,
You can also just draw. They're only sitting 2 right now.
I'd rather, even if I nose this though, then you have something on your net. Like they can't get rid of both things. But it's a tap or a draw.
Well, if you double those and say it does stuff here, and then they draw another one,
That's
then
what
I'm
I'm saying,
facing
is
3.
just nose this is better. If
But
I stay here, what do they do? And you have that. Like that angle tap.
Yeah, I suppose. That's just a tough angle tap with how wide it's going to be. But
The thing is, like, because this one's out counting that. Like, I need to get rid of the 7.
yeah. Do you ever hit and roll your shooter here?
That's like, yeah, that's fine. I just
And
don't
just
know where
remove
the
the
4
7?
goes. I need to blast that then for the 4 to go.
Well, you could also just throw easy. The 4 is just going to sit here. The 4, it has to move quite a bit.
If
to get
I'm
over
rolling
that.
to here, the 4 is squirting here. I need to hit it high side. If I'm throwing that little. Or I throw a lot of weight.
I think you throw nose with a lot of weight because it has to go over top, the 7.
Interesting paradox here. Gabe is more intrigued about where the shooter is going to stop, and Zoe is more concerned about where the other blue is going to go. And they're kind of conflicting paradox. Gabe's not wrong. If he hits it too much on the low side towards center, then that blue one just squirts down into the house, and that's bad news. A corner freeze on the back blue one would actually be a pretty solid shot here as well. You got to be confident that these blues are going to go where you want them to, or you're going to cause grief.
There's a fucking lot of weight. Sweet.
He's on the outside of nose. He's going to roll away. And to Zoe's point, unfortunately they lost their back yellow. I was in the camp of the freeze because it was a more predictable outcome. Granted, if he was inside of nose, that blue one probably would have went over everything. Probably.
I think when you make the shot, that's what that's what I'm in favor of. But I like the draw too, and there's a lot more options off of it if you wick.
Yeah, your rock would have been in play. They had to react to it. Now you've let them do whatever they want to, and that's always a dangerous problem. So, question, do you freeze your own and kind of secure a chance at 2 or 3, or do you corner freeze the front one, protecting the back and possibly setting up a 4, but they have the draw to the backing? I'd probably freeze my own here. You risk a double and then you only get 2.
Well, that's the call. We'll see how it produces.
The right way to err would be corner freezing the yellow one. It doubles as a guard and also they can't hit it.
Line's a little wide. It's good though.
Weight's a little heavy, I think.
It was what I was
Line's
reading.
really good. Whoa.
Backhouse is giving Zoe a humongous bailout.
13-2. That's good.
So if I'm yellow, I sigh a humongous sigh of relief because
you see
my
an
guess
ace
is
of
the
this.
worst you're giving up is 2. Because even if you slide to the back one, they just have a draw for 2.
I think as long as I'm sitting second shot, like
Yeah.
somewhere 4 foot is good.
And Zoe's been almost spot on her draws all day so far. So in this one, a little on the heavy-ish side is not going to hurt you. Freeze the back when you're fine. Freeze
Compared
the
to
blue
the
one
weight
when
on
you
my
can, that's great.
first, this side should be a hair quicker, so that would have been more like top 8, top 4. Mine went top 12. I
Yeah.
can still add a couple feet though.
Yeah, still give me a little more.
Yeah.
Like, throw it there. Throw it to T. Howard.
Line.
To the back.
Okay. Line. Stay close.
There's the break point.
Hard. Hard. Line's good. Line's good.
Excellent shot.
Try and pick it.
Pick it or push it?
I think you just throw normal and try and pick it because I don't think you can get it for 2 or 1. Do you?
Why can't I get it for 1?
Yeah, you can draw for 1 if you want. You can probably do that. Draw, bump it for 1, or try and pick it for 2. What are we in? N4, down 4. Down 3 without.
So you don't think I can push it to there and sit here?
No.
Okay.
I would agree with him there. That's too skinny to miss the back one with the draw.
No, you definitely can't do that. The only way for 2 is picking it.
Okay, then go hold
But
the
you
broom.
can make it for 1, 2 if you want to draw.
Go
and
hold
bump
the
it.
broom. I can't throw that without the broom. Can
Just
you
got to
hold-
hit what you can see.
Okay, well go hold the
Do you
broom.
like that, or would you rather play the draw? It's up to you, Brett. Huh? I'm okay with either.
Neither is a give me. Go hold the broom.
No, this is probably more reward. It's worth it. You could miss the other one. It's not easy either.
Good conversation there. Both of them are low percentage, so A, pick the one you're most comfortable with, and if that's not a deciding factor, pick the highest reward. They're both hard. This is a very traditional 1990s shot. Pick something out. You don't
Should
see it
go
as often
straight
as you
down.
used to. This is a nice straight spot in the sheet. You saw this in the second end.
Yep,
several
hard.
times.
Really hard. Gotta go.
Except for I think she turned it in a little. That's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
1.
All right, let's take a look across the sheets here.
Well, over on sheet 1, we have Peterman Gallant,
Thank you.
who came back with 2 in the second, but Papali and Van Amsterdam answered with 2 of their own in the third. So playing the fourth end, Papley Van Amsterdam lead 5-2 over Peterman Gallant. We'll definitely keep our eye on that. Very important game within the pool over there. And certainly Papley Van Amsterdam, who won in Beaumont only a few weeks ago, are keeping that high play up. They also were deep in the playoffs at the Alberta Mixed Doubles Championship last week. So great teams, and we're seeing a great game over there. Keep our eye on sheet number 2. Wojciechowski and Dumont, who were 3-0, a surprise 3-0, ranked 5th in that pool. They beat the top seed Jones and Lang, and then the second seed Cotter are having a bit of a struggle there against Liburn. And when I say struggle, no disrespect, Liburn a great team, and they're playing really well. So we'll keep an eye there, because Liburn are leading 4-3, and they do have the hammer playing in 5. We'll let you know what happened in 4 once they hang the score. And over on sheet 4, the local team of Drever and Dougal are playing well, but they're up tough against the second-ranked Schmiemann and Ginter in that pool, who have a commanding 9-0 lead, but certainly not because Drever and Dougal haven't been throwing great rocks, just because they gave up a 6 in the first end, and then it's been just a few rocks here and there after that. So enjoying watching all these games. Gord, let's take it back. Cinamon throwing her first rock as we have our first power play of the game.
So power plays are kind of the strategic secret weapon of mixed doubles. Most teams have a preference of how they like to use it. It's almost always later into the game, and you either use it to control ends or to try to get back in the game. So Blue is playing it in the 5th end, which is a very common end to try to get back into a game. So if they pull a 3 off here, then 5-4 is a perfectly good score. There's 2 typical defenses to it. Split the guard on the backside, because your shooter can roll out, but the rock you hit cannot leave play.
Go for
so
line.
hitting the outside of it gives you a lot of space to push it to. The other defense is to throw up a center guard, but you typically only do that when you're tied or down against a power play.
Okay.
Up, around.
One of the things I've been noticing,
I think draw
in this
around or
matchup
even
is that Barber and Heidt have a more traditional, softer club release, whereas Dyck and Cinamon have a tour-like positive release, so they're getting a solid foot difference in curl. And so that one right there that Barber just threw over curled, similar to her hit, because she's softened up her release, so it breaks sooner.
Line's good.
Gabe, on the other hand, we've heard him say numerous times that he's floated it, flared it, popped it, whatever word you want to use, meaning in-out release to resist curl.
Yeah, it's running pretty good.
Got a dig.
Okay. Line's perfect. Really good, Gabe. Nice shot.
That was actually a fantastic shot, making an in-house rock-a-guard.
Tried freezers. Or what are you seeing? What would you play?
This is good.
Brett.
I like this.
Take advantage of the rocks in the house.
Line's nice.
Okay, it looks tight to me.
Hard then.
We're back 4. Back
Hard.
4.
Tap is fine.
Hard. Hard. Okay. Okay.
So there's a bit of what I was just saying. He threw virtually the same path as Gabe, but the rocks curled significantly more.
Big medium, yeah.
They probably should have let that curl harder and pushed that one more back behind the tee and stayed in front of everything instead of a wide open hit. But they tried to stick with their original shot.
Big.
That's pretty good.
Then
This
it's
is
a
like
triple.
a rock with higher.
Then they have a triple, don't they?
Yeah, maybe. That'd be good.
So now the question to ask yourself is, do you care if they're trying for a triple? Because then there's not rocks in play. They're down 6
Yeah,
to
if you
1,
go
so
all the way over here, you're gonna.
they're after rocks
Yeah,
in
I'd
play
rather
to try to
do,
score
like,
3 or 4.
Roll across.
Yeah, I like that.
So rolling nose on your own is actually not a horrible thing. Because if they do play a hit, then they're going to be easily return hit.
Right in front of the 7 though.
Yeah, okay.
Hard for them to move things around when your nose frozen though. Hard tap.
It's gonna hang here.
Okay, clean then for nose. It'll be nose anyway. That's good. Shot.
Another interesting fact of mixed doubles versus four-man. In four-man, you
can, right?
need to recognize what an acceptable outcome is. Give up one, give up two, whatever. But it's always much more scripted. In mixed doubles, you really have to commit yourself to what an acceptable points against is, and use that as your decision driver. So if I'm yellow, I have absolutely no problem giving them 2. So the core there was hit a blue one, and ideally set up the house so that anything they do, you can still hit them out. So I kind of like it spread out like that, because blue's going to be really hard to come up with a tap or freeze where they still can't be hit out, and you still have the wide open blue eventually to hit out. So in my mind, keep it as simple as you can so you can only give up 2.
Whoa, yep, yep, yep. Whoa. Nice shot.
Like,
Yeah.
Don't
I think if
entirely
I can
love
do
that
the
they
long
played that
roll,
as a
it's great.
hit. They could
Yeah,
have
if you can
easily
get all
done
the way
that
over here, that's
to
perfect.
just push the
Maybe
yellow
go
deep
right
in the
on
house
nose.
as a
are you
catcher.
removing this, or do you want to go easy?
If I get rid of that, that's probably
I would
better
call
for
this a
us.
fairly easy hit to remove a blue. And that's really what, again, yellow's after. Just take blues out. Had they done that with, say, back line, pushed the yellow one at least to the back 8 and stayed on the inside of this yellow one, that would have made things significantly more difficult for yellow.
Yep. Whoa, whoa.
Sit.
Good throw.
That wasn't where they wanted that to roll. That makes taking that blue one out way harder. Freeze your own. Make a line.
What do you think? Take our 2 and be happy?
Sure.
Put it there, and then she splits the rings and whatever.
Yeah, but at this point in time, you have to create opportunity. There is no
Just don't
real
want to
safe
give her the
play.
free run at the. Do you see anything? Freeze, that one's about it, isn't it? Draw with the out turn.
Don't mind this call.
Draw with the out turn to here.
I don't mind that. That's my 1B shot. Draw underneath that yellow one. It's got plenty of curl.
What do? If we draw with the out turn there, freeze us?
They run their own
Or
back.
just try the short run.
That might be our chance at 3.
Okay.
So if they freeze their own, they're not wrong. Zoe and Gabe probably try to split the house. Hard not to leave a cross house double, though that would be difficult. So drawing underneath this is a solid way to make an opportunity by forcing Zoe into a harder shot. I guess it's still Gabe that's shooting
very.
still. The pair of them into a harder shot.
Let's try it.
Corner freezing that top yellow one wouldn't be terrible either, because that still doesn't leave Gabe and Zoe an obvious shot, and your rock is liable to stay in play. That's a good fail out, or a backup plan on this draw. Be a little light.
Line's nice. Yep. Line's great. Yeah.
T-line.
Line's great. Yeah.
T-line.
Hard. Hard. Wait, we're by.
Very nice shot. As long as it stays for a second.
Really nice, Mitchell.
Excellent shot.
Probably running the 2 straight back is the easiest. Then they can get the 3. Like, you got to make that really good. Again, just eliminate one of theirs.
Okay.
I think.
So he's got the point good there.
Whatever is easiest.
Trying to just eliminate blue.
The run probably is easiest. I just haven't thrown anything. I don't know how my
It'll be
rocks are
dead
gonna
straight because you're just outside the 4 foot there.
Okay.
That echoes
Like, if
what
you're
you were
throwing
saying
firm,
earlier,
it'll
Steve, it runs fairly straight when you're throwing a little bit of weight.
Okay.
As long as you get the release right.
I
But
see you
they're
just
pros
edge
now.
rocks. You can probably hold it, and mine will run straighter than yours.
Okay. Like right beside the edge then.
Yeah.
That is actually one thing I've appreciated about Zoe's game, is she has a very consistent throw.
Clean. Yep. Yep. Hard. Clean, clean.
Shot.
Good shot. They have a
Yep. Same ice I took.
heavy draw,
You want me to
basically, for
sweep,
2.
or what do you want me to do?
You want the same ice?
Your shot.
I know.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, I think you got to bump it, so you need a hair less than what I had, right?
Okay.
Brett, you can be like back or
I know.
you probably just want to play back 12, just through.
Alarm bells in my coaching brain start popping up when they haven't settled on what weight they're actually going to throw. If you throw back 12,
Where did you get me?
or if you throw board, those paths are going to be 6 inches different. It's not the good old days of a steady curl. You really got to pick your weight and your broom, not
With just through. Just through. We're just through.
Never.
so just through means the break point's can be right near the hog line. I think she's heavy though.
Okay.
Yeah, that was close to board weight.
Well, we'll just take a moment here before the beginning of the 6th end to see, to say thank you, I should say, to our different sponsors. Visions Electronics, thank you very much. Bow Valley Credit Union, Distinctive Homes, Mary's Popcorn Shop, the Malcolm Hotel, beautiful hotel in Canmore, Rocky Mountain Soap Company, Wildlife Distillery, Ridgewood, and GDS. And of course, we don't want to forget Curling Canada. They are in charge of our sport, our game in the country. They've done a great job, and some of them are here this weekend working with the athletes and watching the games, and really appreciate their support, not just in our event, but of course of curling in general, as they've done a great job to be the stewards of our sport, and we thank them very, very much. I should also mention Barber and Heidt provided us a few sponsors that are supporting them, and you can see them all across their jackets. We'll do some zooming in there, and we'll bring you those in a little bit. I want to tell you a bit about Cinamon and Dyck, the team out of Edmonton. Zoe is from Cochrane, Alberta. She curls for the U of A team, her skip being Serena Graywithers. Serena's here with Sterling Middleton. They're playing in a different pool and having a good event so far. Zoe's been curling for 13 years. She's taking a Bachelor of Science in Geology. Recently, they were back-to-back U25 Next Gen champions, and they are the reigning U Sports national champions. Gabe's from Edmonton, Alberta, and he curls for Team Jakes. He's been curling for 17 years, barely looks a day older than the day he started curling, if you ask me. He's taking a master's in coaching at the University of Alberta. He went through the phys ed program, or the kinesiology as they call it these days, prior to that. His successes, he's a 4-time Alberta provincial champion between the juveniles and the junior ages, and he plays on the, or has played on the Bears curling team, and he's coached both the Bears and the Panda curling team at U of A, hence his masters of coaching that he's taking. So a great young team here, and we're definitely seeing some of that, Gord, so far in this match.
T.
Going on a bit of a tangent, I will say that successful young curlers from smaller towns
You could tap
actually
on the
have a
inside.
phenomenally big impact on those local clubs. Zoe is one of 2 or 3 younger curlers that came out of Cochrane in the last 10 years or so. And having been in Cochrane my whole life, you can see how it changes a club, junior involvement in clubs, high school curlers in clubs. It is actually quite remarkable how having someone like Zoe, who's just committed and quite successful, can bring new life into a club.
Oh, straight, straight, straight.
Well,
Okay, just get draw. Yeah.
I also noticed that a lot of these sponsors are return sponsors from last year when I came out and helped, which I always find phenomenal, and will extend my own thank you. And of course, welcome to the new sponsors that are new to the board. So this is actually setting up more traditionally than a lot of the ends we've seen. We've got 4 rocks basically in the 4-foot. You'll see Peterman and Gallant's games quite often have this kind of a setup. How many rocks can you jam in a 4-foot and see who scores in the end?
Close for line. Yes!
Back button.
Yes!
That's a pretty good setup for blue right now.
Okay.
Now or no?
Uh,
Because I don't see much else.
yeah, it's either that or you make this. This is hard though. I mean, that's hard
But
too.
then they always have that one top 4.
Yeah, I like it.
Right
Hair.
on
Which
center
way?
with the out.
Which turn?
With the out.
Okay.
I think I'm in Zoe's camp right now. Throwing a yellow on top of that blue one now is safer. If you miss the run back, then blue can do whatever they want to. If you make the run back, that's, you know, to your point, Steve, if you make the shot, it was the right shot. It's just harder. That's one of the things I advise people on run backs. Be mindful of the fact that if you miss them, it's generally a 0, and then the opponents can do anything.
I was just peeling.
Yeah, it's okay.
This would be looking really
Guard
pretty
it.
with the yellow one in the 4-foot, but that's okay. They do have a 6-point lead.
While we wait for Heidt to get himself ready to throw, just a quick update over on sheet 1. Papley Van Amsterdam stealing 1 in 4, so they now have a 6-2 lead over Peterman and Gallant, so we'll keep an eye over there. Libren took 1 in 4, but Wojciechowski Dumont took 2 in 5, so they're all tied up on 5, playing 6, and Libren using the power play have got hammer. And over on sheet 4, Drever and Dougal have taken their first points of the game, so it's 10-1, and they're playing in the 6th end right now. Now back to our game.
This is all about angles. They were going for the guard.
This ain't good.
I would say that's actually reasonable. You're going to be running a blue into a
The
blue.
four's
The
always
yellow's
gonna
probably
stick.
going to
Yeah, I
catch
know.
at least one of the blues. So that's reasonable.
Good plan B, as they say.
Okay.
You're trying to dissuade them from obvious easy hits, but you're still sitting in front of theirs, so that's not bad.
Well, if Gabe catches this a bit high, we know that on this side, heavy shots have floated a little bit. It would just jam into the yellows, and
Do you like
so
this ice? We
gotta
just
be
can't
careful.
hit high. all the
Absolutely.
time.
That's good.
If the score were closer, I think they'd be paying a lot more mind to that potential freeze on that blue on the edge of the button. But again, you're up 6, so less blues is less points. This is drifting. And Steve, your point was made saliently.
Not it.
You can see the life breathe into Barber and Height right now.
They're going to try
6-enders
and
are a lot easier
double.
in mixed doubles than an 8-ender in traditional 4s.
right here,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
They're hitting for sure. They're never drawing.
Not sure I love putting a rock on the center line. You can't make a 3 rock wide guard, so they can hit just about anything. If you threw this in the outer 8-foot, they're going to try probably a double on those ones in the 4-foot, and then you're going to have a wide open hit for 4.
Line's good.
I
Line's
get
really
the
good.
guard makes the hit harder,
Gonna curl if anything.
but it also creates opportunities to get out
Gotta
of a potential
stop.
6.
It's over curling.
That
Not
ended
really
up as a
seeing
nice
a
spot.
triple.
No.
The only thing
Like-
is a nose double
Double. For
Yeah.
sure.
has the
Then it's just a
potential
draw
to
for
jam on the
4.
return hit.
Draw for 4 and 7 up to power play.
Do you ever nose that and force her to have to peel, and then like they risk jamming if they play anything cute that way, which is safe, but if they try to roll that way, it might be a little bit tougher.
Yeah.
So even if you just catch the back one or that,
Yours are just all like flown out.
unless you
I don't
want to
wanna-
just do that.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just would rather be safe.
'Kay.
We'll still be up 2 with hammer.
Yeah.
I think I'm in Gabe's camp on this one. Hit the front one. Try to leave your shooter biting center line in some manner. Hard not to take 2 of them out, but taking 2 out on this side, if you're comfortable, feel free.
Hair high is fine.
Yeah.
They do still have their power play as well,
Yeah,
so they
7,
can
8,
manage
5.
the score in the ends.
You'll be just inside that 4-foot, so it'll move a little
Yeah.
bit.
I'm thinking take ice edge rock again with firm based on how my medium
I
rat
like
should run.
edge rock with peel.
With peel? Okay.
You can actually get a cute little half frozen roll underneath the one they just threw if it curls.
Yep. Hard! Hard! Hard!
Good.
That's ultimately what they were after. Turn hit for 4, be
You know
up
that
2, 2 ends left, and a power play.
No, I don't know. We haven't played. the whole game, I don't think, have we?
Nope.
I don't really know it.
Okay.
Do you want a broom or sweep?
Broom's fine.
Big shot here, Gord. This really changes the game.
The thing in my mind here is less about the complexity of the shot and more about her committing to the shot, because she's really fought this last one. So she needs to take that moment to forget the previous 5 ends and just throw a nice clean takeout.
Whoa.
It's real close.
Looks really good. Looks like a great release. It's coming in nice.
Might be a little on the high side. Nice shot.
Shot, Brett. Yeah.
Well, Gord, that's a big momentum shift there. 4. It'll be 7-5. Just a quick update across the sheets. Peterman Gallant did take 3 in 5, so they've made that a 6-5 game. Papley Van Amsterdam will have the hammer, and we are still tied over on sheet 2. We'll bring you an update as soon as we can, and we do have Wojciechowski Dumont invoking the power play as they play in 7. As we've mentioned throughout the weekend, we had one of our longtime volunteers and curling members unfortunately suffered a stroke recently. He isn't here to help and support like he's always done, and we're thinking of him. He's in the hearts of not just us but many of the players who are here and have been very known to him and have seen him do his work. So Jim, this is for you.
Jim, get better. Missing you on the ice, but
Sure do miss you around the club, Jim.
There's a lot of people at the event this weekend, Jim, that want to say a few words.
hey Jim, just want to let you know we miss you. You've done so much for this event and been such a big part of this, and we're really missing you. I hope you're doing well, and we're thinking of you lots, and we know you'll be back here making some great ice in no time, so missing you.
Hey Jim, just wanted to give you a shout. We hope you're recovering well, and we miss you here in Banff.
Hey Jim, all the boys and gals in Canmore wish you the very best, and get well soon.
Hi Jim, we're thinking of you. We're at the curling rink.
Hey Jim, we're missing out here.
We hope you get well soon.
I heard that you haven't been well, and I hope that you're feeling better, and we hope to see you here soon.
Hey Jim, just wanted to wish you well. Look forward to seeing you around the club here next year. Thanks for everything.
Hi Jim, this is Jessica Wojciechowski and Michael Dumont. We're so sorry you can't be here with us this weekend, but we're gonna curl our hearts out for you.
Hi Jim, we really, really miss you. We'd really love to see you here very, very soon.
Miss you, buddy. Hey, Jim. Not sure what we're going to do without you this year, Peblin. Hope you can be back next year, bud. Take care.
Well, Gord, we're going to join our game here. Cinamon and Dyck have invoked the power play. They need to shake off the last end and focus on this one. 2 ends left. They still have a 2-point lead. They've got hammer. If you were coaching them, what would you tell them in 2 sentences or less?
That's really the only thing to say in this case. Give up 1, Take 1 or 2, great. A blank is actually a daunting little problem because it flips the hammer and it just spins momentum so fast. Fun little interesting aspect to this. So we saw the power play a couple ends ago and we saw the backward split executed perfectly. This end, blue is down, so they had to throw the center guard. And they did that really well. It's fascinating how much it changes the feel of an end, because as soon as that center guard goes up, now it's kind of feeling like a traditional mixed doubles end. And all the play now crowds into the 4-foot, and that yellow one off to the right is just a hopeful second point later in the end. So 2 actually really good defenses of a power play in this initial setup.
Put
another one in, yeah.
Okay.
Well, you heard it here first. Avoid the blank. I wonder if we can get T-shirts made.
Like I say, mixed doubles has so many neat ways to be different than 4-man. In 4-man, you would love to blank the 7th end. I actually believe it was here last year. Gallant and Peterman were playing, I think it was the semifinal, and they ended up in a blank the 7th end conundrum. an accidental rollout, if I don't remember correctly.
That's a double negative. I can't make sense of it.
They're running pretty well.
It's early on a Saturday. Language is a struggle.
Mine's perfect. Really good. Nice shot.
That was a brilliant shot. Blues got some challenges now. I might be inclined to push that center yellow back, nose-ish, with a hack. Get those yellows all spilling underneath. Bit tight with the two blue rocks in the way. But that yellow one's going to come back and haunt them if they don't deal with it eventually. That's too easy of a path.
Real close.
Little heavy.
Yep.
We're heavy.
Hard! Hard! Hard!
Fuck's sakes. Cocksucker.
Another one?
Think so.
One little subtle thing I pick up with Heidt when he's throwing, especially his out turns, he's got a little bit of a twist in his slide, which is going to change his perspective. So he tends to start his out turns just a little bit, and they've overcurled repeatedly on him. Yeah, he could stand to take a few more inches just to accommodate that little twist in his delivery.
Felt like less.
Perfect. Hair room
Still
right
running
now.
well, though. Running again.
Grayson set this one out a little bit.
Their last one?
But it'll spill into the middle, which won't be a bad thing for
Straight
them.
up for this.
Ah, sorry. Lucky tick.
The little bantam redirect. Good plan B.
What do you think? What would you play?
Up to you.
Okay. If this was your ladies' team, what would you play?
I don't have a ladies' team, so just.
I don't have a ladies' team. Good asking.
Same shot.
I like that.
Try and kill the 7 and bump theirs on the nose and stay there.
Okay.
I'm with
Just
him on
through
this.
or half?
You need to basically play a double tap. Get as close to nose frozen on the yellow one that Gabe just threw. Push the other one preferably back 4. Then you're going to be really hard to move, and you're at least sitting second. It's really close.
Yep.
Whoa.
Hard!
Gotta go, gotta go. It's over curled.
Yeah, they were right. Sweeping a little bit more to stay nosed on the other yellow one would have been really nice, but that's still ultimately a pretty nice shot. They've left themselves a hit and roll under with that yellow that spun out.
I probably only see a thick half, though.
Your other option is like chuck a guard, honestly, and then they try this, but
Yeah.
like this is always going to be shot.
So he's sticking to her true
ever do
roots.
that?
Always takes a guard in
The thing
consideration.
is, like, if I just
Not a
pick
bad
it,
call.
I love.
if I just pick it, then they just nose on that. But if
Yeah,
I double those,
we'll do this. This is
yeah, just like there. Heel.
got it.
Inside out
I
double.
like firm.
Uh,
Like I'm flirting with the 4-foot, so.
I don't hate firm.
Okay, we'll go firm.
Do you like same ice or her more?
Same ice.
Okay.
Good rotation. Yeah.
Inside
hit it,
out
Shane.
double, sit in front of the other one. They'll have to hit and roll underneath in return, and hopefully only give up a tough draw for 2.
Close. Curl.
Long way to go.
Curl. Hard, try and clip it.
Inside out again, unfortunately.
That's not bad.
The right way to miss that would have been hit that blue one thick and just spin into the middle.
What do you like? Probably this one, right?
Okay.
Right into here?
I like this. Wide in turn draw.
How much do you see?
Well, now's a chance like what happened the other end of putting a second one in the house. And, you know, that's the tie game if Cinamon doesn't execute right or something unfortunate happens. So, you know, big opportunity here and see what comes out of it.
60?
Yeah.
I like this choice because if you're heavy, you've got that backing and you will sit too.
Absolutely.
So that's got to be the tolerance.
Put some pressure on them.
They were really heavy. We're 50. We're through.
So now, if it had been me coaching the Cinamon Dyck team, I may have advised them to save their power play for 8. The reason being, if you give up a steal, you'll have hammer. You can use the power play clean end. If you scored, you wouldn't be able to use your power play, but you would have been up 3 or more, and you wouldn't have been too concerned. This just gives you an awkward situation. Unfortunately, light on the draw.
That or you just pick the 5.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it might clip the back of the 6, but I think it's going under as long as I hit a quarter. And then it's always stuff in here too.
I need to hit there.
Okay.
A quarter.
Comfort shot, hit the outside half of your yellow, come with the out turn, half a rock of the blue, draw, whatever you are most comfortable with.
Is there ever a way to hurt ourselves if I hit this too thick? Because then it's double stuffing and we're giving up 2, eh?
I don't think you're giving up 2. Because I think if you're stuffing, your shooter's going to roll towards their blue.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, yeah. Just wanted to make sure I can't, like, ruin the whole end.
Yeah.
Technically, running the guard in an angle into the yellow would give them 2, but that's a really big oops.
The wide one or the
wide one? Oh, yeah. No, this tight one's never coming in.
Not to say I haven't made a really big oops in my life.
There's certain things you can contemplate, and there's some things that shouldn't be contemplated.
To the point, if they played the out turn pick on the blue one, there is no way to hurt themselves.
Yep. Yep. Hard! Okay. Oh, yeah, okay, I did ruin it.
That was unreal.
That was all. Well, nope, Zoe was right. Too thick did actually turn into big oops. That was a collision of bad angles.
Well, an unfortunate set of events there will give the steal of 2 for Barber Height. So we will have a tie game coming home. It will be Cinamon Dyck with the hammer. And we will have an exciting finish in this game. Just taking a quick peek over onto sheet number 2, where Libren with their power play took 2 and 6. Wojciechowski and Dumont answered back with 1 and 7. So it's a 7-6 game for the Liburns, and they have hammer. So we'll keep an eye on that because really important game here for Wojciechowski and Dumont to keep the wins coming. But Libren giving them a very, very tough game. Just before we start the 8th and final end, and one more thank you to our sponsors: Visions Electronics, Bow Valley Credit Union, Distinctive Home, Mary's Popcorn Shop, the Malcolm Beautiful Hotel in Canmore, Rocky Mountain Silk Company, Wildlife Distillery, Ridgewood, and GDS. And of course, Curling Canada, they're here watching their athletes, here supporting the event and their teams, and it's great to have them. And I want to give them a big shout out and thank you for all that they do for curling in Canada. And well, Gord, as the Vice President of Curling Alberta, you're here as well. Glad to have you. Obviously not in that official capacity, but certainly Curling Alberta works very hand in hand with Curling Canada. And I think as sport organizations go, they do a tremendous job for our sport, and really exciting in these next 12 months because we've got Olympics coming up and trials and all the like. So it should be a fun, exciting time in our sport, as in most sports that are in the Olympics over the next 12 months.
And true to your fashion, you humbly remove yourself from the Curling Alberta conversation, but you have been a huge contributor and past president to Curling Alberta as well, so thank you as well.
Nothing more past than the past president.
So, subtle reminder, mixed doubles, the steal rate is in the 40s in a close game. So it really comes down to first rock. Both teams threw a really good first rock. So we should see a whole pile of rocks in the 4-foot in short order, and then it's a game of angles and repositioning.
I will say, in talking to Barber and Heidt before the game, they are busy with some outside interests. They are obviously busy with their businesses, but they love curling and golf and traveling as much as they can.
Hard! Really hard!
Beautiful pattern.
14-5.
Curl
really
by
hard.
winter, golf by summer.
Hit rover curly in the yellow, right to the blue. Right here.
That's good, that's good, that's good.
Well, that drastically over curled into what might be actually a really good position. The angle is decent. Had it not quite curled, then they would have had a bit of a problem.
Too,
Okay.
like the guard's good.
Fully
It's tough
open
to make
blue,
a good guard.
usable later.
Well, we're not shot.
I know,
Oh, okay.
but it's tough for them to make a good guard again.
That's true.
They're always going to put something around the corner.
Okay.
I think I'm going to agree with Gabe on this one. The guard's not helping you. Your upper 4 yellow is a useful rock. That blue they just threw, fully exposed under the guard, is a very dangerous rock. If I don't have reason to argue, I also like to give people their first inclination because that's the one they're most comfortable with.
It's like most things, there's no right, there's no wrong. It's 6-1 half dozen or maybe 60-40. So to your point, pick the one you want to throw because there's a better chance you'll make it.
Line's nice. Where are you?
It's the 2.
Okay, just leave it. Line's great.
Someday we're going to have to make a curling t-shirt that says the right shot is the one you make.
And no blanks in 7 can be on the back.
No, nice.
So, guard is close to the same. However, I would say you can see a lot of that left side top blue. I would have very little issue with a small hit and roll off of that one. Also fine with peeling the guard again. Sooner or later, blue will make a play on that yellow one. And if they do it really well, meaning push it to the back 4 and leave theirs in the front of the 4-foot, you're going to have a puzzle to solve.
Thanks.
Blue has a tough choice. Try the guard one more time, or, as I was saying, rattle those rocks around a little bit. Imagine roughly nose tap on that yellow one. You have 2 yellows and a blue at the back of the forefoot, and you have 1 top forefoot. That would look pretty good with a shot left.
Line's nice.
But to Zoe's
Got really
point,
out there.
blue is shot, so
Little
they don't
heavier.
have to make a play.
Okay, should be real good for line. Got a curl right now. Line's almost perfect. Hard. Go, Mitch. Hard. Hard. Little more. Little more. Little more.
So, Mr. Steve, what do you like?
I think the rip's the play now.
What?
Do you like the peel now or no?
Yeah. I'm wondering what happens if I nose the yellow.
That's my preference.
I was just about to say it. He beat me to it.
That's good.
If I nose.
That's good.
Even
And
if
if I hit the high.
just kiss the blue one and move the yellow one, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, if you stuff it here, that's good, and if you pick these, that's good.
Yeah.
If
Well,
they have
like,
to make
if I hit
something,
nose, I'm
great.
staying right there, and then
Yeah, I love that.
back's gone. Yeah, just
Do you
right on the
think-
nose. It'll like run on the center line. I'll throw my
Okay.
out.
Miss is probably tight, so you rip the guard, hey?
Okay.
Just be reminded on this side, if you float it
You
a
got it.
little on release to outside, it will run straight. I mean, the good news is you're hitting your blue one, and you might just pick that yellow one across anyway. So
Yeah, you got to catch the blue one super thin. Personally, I would say clipping the guard is also an acceptable way to miss. Just don't nose that blue one. I don't think would be a very good thing.
these are the shots I like because there's a lot of misses that are good.
You got a 3 rock wide target. Just huck it at something. He's a little narrow.
that's okay.
There goes the guard.
That center line is steep.
I would say he forgot the inside out on his release, less than the center line, but it's all good. You hit backup plan.
I think that's the best spot you can be, Brett. Top 12 wide open.
The final shot for Barber Height here in the 8th end in an all-tie game.
You're on the same line that I
They're
was.
very
and
much
deeper,
committed to
that's
the
fine.
guard now. There's no great play in the house.
A little bit tighter and 3 or 4 feet deeper.
So edge of
in mine.
12.
If you throw this kind of biting center line kind of a spot, so he's going to have a hard shot. Maybe 3 inches outside of center
height
line
a bit,
to
maybe?
take the draw tap
Disagree.
away.
Weight's good. 88. I got 78.
Line's
so
really
we're
good. It's
to-
got a curl right now.
we're
Got a curl
top
mile.
4.
Has to curl. Getting really good. Where is it?
In the house.
Top 8.
Right about there. That's a valiant effort. Zoe's going to have a hard shot.
I think I just want to touch, hey?
Yeah.
I just have to move it like 2 inches.
Yep.
Okay.
This way.
So this is a very
Same way
precise
I throw it
shot.
first?
You're pushing your yellow on an angle. I think I would actually be playing a short tap on the blue they just threw because at least it's straight back and you could technically push it into the back blue one. This steep angle, you're likely going over the blue one, so you only have, call it 6 inches of acceptable space to tap it to, and you're moving 2 rocks. That's a very precise weight. I'd do the straight back double tap.
Well, as we wait for the final shot at the end, we can tell you that Liburn did take 1 in the 8th end and successfully defeated and handed Waitrachesky Dumont their first loss, and in doing so earned their first one. So Waitrachesky Dumont will be 3-1 in that pool, and Liburn 1-3. Not sure what happened yet on Papley Van Amsterdam, Peter McGlant, but they have shaken, and we'll bring that result to you shortly. Now back to the game and the final shot of our game.
Close.
Close.
Yep.
Looking for a third of a rock with back 8 weight.
Oh, yep. Hard.
That's unfortunately what I was getting at, is you had such a small window to put it in. If you do that same thing with the guard they just threw, brilliant shot. Excellent game, all things said and done.
Yes, a very, very close one. Very entertaining for our viewers that stuck around with us. It just shows you again that big leads, big points in the ends can change at any moment, because in mixed doubles, lots can happen.
It's the 2 Ps, perseverance and patience. That's what mixed doubles is all about.
Well, we're not quite sure, as we said. So on Curling Zone, we'll probably have the answer to what happened in the Van Amsterdam-Papley game. I am going to assume that Papley Van Amsterdam won that just by the nature of score and it finishing early. But we will let you know at the beginning of our next draw. Our next draw, just to let you know, will happen at 11:30. So please come back and join us at that time. And we wish you a really good Saturday morning until then. Thank you.